Hi.
Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Döse.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you a first look plus on-feet video of the brand new Under Armour Clutchfit Force 3.0. So this is the third generation of Clutchfit models from Under Armour. The first one I thought was a very interesting, very innovative shoe when it came out. There really hasn't been anything like it since then. The second generation was essentially an improvement over what they did with the initial model. And the third generation is more or less a tweaked version of what we got from the second generation model. But the tweaks that they have made, I think make this the most appealing Clutchfit model to date. And I'm actually really happy with the changes that they've made. So we're gonna go over all of those changes in this video, talk tech specs and general performance features, as well as take a look at how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more about the Clutchfit Force 3.0, stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, there'll be a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $220 retail price. So, the shoes themselves, what exactly is the Clutchfit line all about? The key characteristic, or I guess most distinctive aspect of this shoe, is the synthetic upper, which is a Trivela microfiber material with Under Armour's Clutchfit top layer, which is essentially this chevron pattern that you see right here. They haven't only used this on their soccer shoes, they've used this in basketball, they've used this on runners, they've used this on trainers, they've used this on various different models within the Under Armour brand. It's a really interesting technology. Basically, the base Trivela microfiber synthetic is slightly stretchy. So kind of a similar concept to what you'll find from the Puma Evo Power, but it's multi-directional stretch. So when you actually lace these up, you'll find that you do get that kind of tension, almost elasticated aspect of the upper, and that it kind of stretches around your foot. It gives you that slightly compression type fit that is particularly unique given that this isn't a one-piece upper. Now, in order to combat the elasticated aspect of the upper, they incorporated the Clutchfit top layer, which you can see features this kind of arrow-shaped pattern that does vary depending on the certain section of the shoe. And of course, depending on the pattern, if it's more dense and small, like it is across the toe box and forefoot area, it's gonna have less stretch. Whereas when it opens up a little bit more, like you see through the midfoot, it's gonna have a little bit more stretch, but ultimately it is doing a pretty effective job in terms of reinforcing the upper and giving you that nice locked-in responsive sensation. It's a really interesting feel, but one that is very comfortable. The synthetic material itself, super soft, super flexible, really no break-in time required. And as far as synthetic shoes are concerned, I would say this is one of the more comfortable ones out of the box based on what's out there right now, on par with shoes like the Evo Power Vigor 1, which I also find to be extremely comfortable. In regards to the thickness of the material, it is on the thinner side, but it's not paper thin like a pair of Mercurial Vapors would be. I would almost put this on par in terms of thickness to something like an Adidas X16.1, if that makes any sense, just for the sake of comparison. And then also the Clutchfit liner on top, or the Clutchfit structure layer, does have a slightly kind of rubbery sensation. Again, not really as crazy in terms of grip on the ball as what you'll find from something like an Adidas Predator Instinct, but it's a little bit of extra grip that you wouldn't necessarily get from other synthetic shoes. So that is, again, kind of a unique quirk of this particular upper. Of course, you do have a central lacing system where the tongue is made from a synthetic material, has some memory foam inserts running through the middle as well, which I really like. And then of course you do have the low cut design, which again, I'm still kind of surprised that Under Armour has not gone for anything below or anything above a mid-cut shoe, because that is kind of the main trend for a lot of big brands at the moment. Under Armour, a big brand, but not necessarily the biggest in the soccer world. Nonetheless, what I do like about Under Armour as a brand in general with their shoes, they've had some hits, they've definitely had some misses, but they really do come across as a brand that's not trying to copy anybody. They're coming up with original ideas that really are unique experiences, and that's partially what I like to see in a brand new model. Not only do I want it to perform well, I want it to be different from what else is out there, not just a copy or their own version of a Superfly or an Adidas X16 Plus Pure Chaos. I like it to be their own thing, and Under Armour does that as a brand extremely well. Speaking of the heel area, you do have a heel liner with what is described as a a grip liner basically. So you have a synthetic leather material lining pretty much the entire inside. You can see where it's black. You have 4 little strips going down the very back of the liner, and essentially that is your grip liner material, which I would describe as kind of like a synthetic suede type material. It has that slightly kind of textured finish to it. And it does as advertised. It grips your sock pretty effectively. Heel slippage is not an issue. So I like that new change that they have made to the Clutchfit model in general. As far as the rest of the inside of the shoe is concerned, a key characteristic of this shoe is going to be that charged foam insole, which is fully removable. They do partially glue it down, but you can pull it out without too many issues. Haven't actually pulled this one out yet, but here we go. This is an exact carryover from the 2nd generation Clutchfit Force. But as you guys can see, it's a straight up foam insole. So it's got a decent thickness to it. It has no liner on top. It has some texturing, but it is just straight up foam. But this is their charged foam. So again, you're gonna see this on their basketball models, their training models, some of their running shoes as well. And it is actually a very, very good cushioning setup. In terms of underfoot cushioning, this shoe in general is going to be a lot better than 99% of shoes out there. If you're comparing this to, for example, the Boost foam setup that you'll find in the A17 Plus Pure Control, this actually provides more underfoot cushioning just in terms of that softness underfoot. So really, really good insoles. That's something that Under Armour has done extremely well with the Clutchfit line in general. And it is one of my personal favorite aspects of this shoe, just in regards to straight up comfort. As far as the sole plate and stud pattern is concerned, that is a complete redesign coming from the previous generation Clutchfits. You can see that it is now a layout that looks very similar, I will admit, to what we've had from the Nike Tiempos, but at the same time, it is kind of a more generic stud pattern in general, which might sound like a lazy way of doing things, but it isn't necessarily, in that this is a well-proven layout that does work quite well. The sole plate itself has some really good flexibility to it. You can see the black area is where it is going to be a little bit stiffer, where the white area right here has some really, really good flexibility. So the natural range of motion when running is something that you'll definitely notice with this particular shoe. And then of course the stud pattern itself, it is again a very, very standard layout. You have your 4 studs under the heel, the 8 main conical studs in the forefoot, and then some bladed support studs running through the middle. A pretty straightforward stud pattern, like I said, is well proven. This is firm natural grass, or an FG stud pattern, so it is only made for use on natural grass. Please keep that in mind. But on that type of surface, expect it to perform really, really well. I'm personally a really big fan of the Nike Tiempo Legend 6. This has a very similar stud pattern to that. And again, I like this stud pattern. Some people may want something a little bit more fancy, but if you're not one of those people, you're unlikely to have any issues with this. In regards to weight, the shoes themselves weigh in at 8 ounces in a size 9.5 US. So that is not so light, not so heavy. It's definitely not heavy, but again, if you're comparing this to thin synthetic shoes, you would expect it to perhaps weigh a little bit less. Again, this doesn't have that super, super lightweight sensation on your feet. This is comparable in weight to something like an A17 Plus Pure Control. But again, I think if you're interested in this shoe in general, you're probably not too concerned about the overall weight. But again, that's not something that to me really bothers me with this particular shoe. Could it be lighter? Yes. Should it be lighter? Probably, but I think that the end result, just in regards to the experience and comfort level that this shoe has on offer, I don't mind the 8 ounce weight range that this falls into at all. In regards to looks, this is one of the launch colorways, which is pretty straightforward, white and black, which you can never go wrong with. I know a lot of people have always kind of criticized Under Armour for the way their shoes look. People just don't like the look of their logo. I personally don't mind it. This shoe in general just looks very clean to me, especially in this very simple color. You get pretty much white on white for the Trevella synthetic base, and then of course the Clutchfit top layer with that arrow pattern. You get the Under Armour logo on both sides with kind of like a white paint splatter effect. So it's mirrored on both sides, as you can see. And then it does say Clutchfit going down the back there in black. And then of course the bottom, pretty much a combination of white and black as well. You get more of that paint splatter there throughout the forefoot. And again, it's just a very simple looking shoe in general. I don't mind the look, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. That's enough about the shoe though. Let's take a look at how these things fit and feel on feet. So you can see here on the right shoe, I actually swapped in some wide black reflective SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. If you're interested in a pair, there'll be a little pop-up on screen, as well as a link down below in the description. So be sure to go ahead and check that out. So obviously, standard low-cut shoe, central lacing system with a tongue design, very easy to get on, no struggles there whatsoever. But just notice it's probably going to be difficult to see. When you tie these up though, you definitely feel it. When you pull the laces, just notice the shape of the actual chevrons themselves, those little arrow shapes. It'll actually stretch. So you can see that this part of the upper right here is this far away. When I pull the laces, it's actually going to come towards the middle. It does have that little bit of stretchiness to it that, again, I think is just such a unique characteristic for a shoe to have. The shoe basically stretches around your foot, which kind of feels a little bit unusual, but at the same time, it's very comfortable and it gives you that nice, snug, almost custom type feel that's difficult to get from a lot of these synthetic shoes. They pretty much have a predetermined shape and they'll wrap your foot as best they can, but a lot of them can have kind of a plasticky sensation. This is very soft and that stretchiness just gives you that nice wrap. There's no extra space here whatsoever all the way across the top of the foot where the laces are, which is really, really nice to have. So I'll put the other shoe on really quickly just so you can see what both of them look like on feet. Again, very, very easy to put on. No issues there whatsoever. Pretty standard design in regards to the layout there. But again, tying them up, it just has this really interesting sensation, something that I've always been a fan of with the Clutchfit line, and that it just gives you this nice, comfortable wrap. It fits tight. It's kind of squeezing your foot to a certain extent, but it's slightly elasticated, so it doesn't feel like your foot is being squeezed to the point where it's actually uncomfortable. You're just getting a nice, snug fit, as snug as it possibly can fit, without feeling that kind of constant pressure of the squeezing, if that makes any sense at all. So here's what they look like on feet. And immediately, if you've worn any of the previous generation Clutchfit models, you'll notice that this shape has been tweaked significantly to the point where this is by far the best fitting version of the Clutchfit that we've had, especially in the toe box and forefoot area. These fit like a high-end shoe should fit. Previous Clutchfit generations have had kind of higher volume than I would have liked them to have in terms of just overall fit, but this has a nice snug fit all the way through. No dead space on the inside. The sole plate is more flexible. The upper is super, super soft and super flexible. And again, just a very comfortable shoe out of the box. Pretty much no break-in time required. Heel lockdown, very, very good. And again, the shoes just feel fantastic out of the box. I have no complaints in regards to out-of-the-box comfort whatsoever. As far as width is concerned, these are going to be suitable for just about anybody. Any stretch out of the upper is not necessarily going to come from break-in time. It's going to happen when you're actually lacing the shoes up. So again, kind of a unique characteristic to having a partially stretchy upper that is reinforced by the external Clutchfit system is that, again, once you tie them up, it's going to kind of wrap your foot accordingly and give you the best possible fit. So even if you have wide feet, you're going to be able to fit in these shoes pretty comfortably. So again, I'd say these are going to be suitable for just about anybody in regards to foot shape as well as foot width. As far as sizing is concerned, they run about a half size small. So instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. So that is pretty much it, guys, for my review of the Under Armour Clutchfit Force 3.0. Really, really happy with them. Again, if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, you can click the little eye in the corner of the screen or the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $220 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked in the description below. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.